Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on your 2023 Jayco Whitehawk32RL travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you're going to have this big slide. You're also going to have this awning and your awning from your slide to come out as well. So leave room for all of that. On our off campsite, got your slide, but also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to plug in just in front of that slide, or with it closed, just in front of your tires on your off campsite, or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Your city water connection is going to be just ahead of that, so that's where you plug in for campsites. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we do is level our unit. And it comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply lower or extend. It says up or down on here. Now should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper here, this hand crank will get this up and down should you lose power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Once we got our unit level, next we're going to do is stabilize it. The unit comes with power stabilizing jacks. Now we'll show you there's a manual override. There's a hand crank for that. Manual overrides here on the side. So when you arrive, take your feet, kind of flatten them out. Step up inside the unit. Your control panel. Come to our home here. I'll show you, we're gonna go to motors. Oops, just passed it. Motors, there's awning. Down here you select front stabilizing jacks, extend. Now I will recommend stabilizing jack pads to put underneath them jacks. It's gonna protect the feet of them from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Once you feel there's coming down, come out. Make sure your feet are flat. They are on both sides. And if it feels like it's going to lift the unit, we will stop. Next, we would go down to the rear stabilizer jacks and do the same thing. And simmer down. It will feel like it's starting to lift the unit. Come back here. Look at them, see they're down nice and taut. And we're all set. So once we got our unit level and stable, next thing we're gonna do is hook up our power and water. Big, long 30 amp or 50 amp cord, excuse me. Plugs in here on the side just in front of your tires. This is pistol grip. It'll go in at like 11 o'clock, turn to the right, and then put that black washer on. At the end of that 50 amp service, should you need to plug into a 30 amp at a campsite, there's a 50 to 30 amp reducer and also a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. At campsites, we will hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn on your hose yet. We're just going to check your hot water heater and make sure that is on. On here as well. No plugs were out. Go ahead and turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a few minutes, you go inside and open up these slides. Once all your slides are open, I need you to get in there and open up all of your water taps. Get all the water lines open, sinks and showers. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then shut them off. Get all that air out of the lines, shut them off. And then you'll know that you can turn on your hot water heater. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're gonna go dry camping or boondocking. In that case, we're gonna fill up our potable water tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or on the inside, while you're filling it, where you check the black and gray tanks, there's also a button for your fresh water. Keep an eye on that. Don't leave this unattended while you're filling it. Once it's full, remove your hose, put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hooked up to that city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up with power and water. Let me walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here in the front, you pass through storage. There's your single burner griddle that is set up on your J port on the other side. I'll show you where that is. Battery disconnect. That would disconnect all the battery power to your unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Out here, your black tank flush. We'll use that when dumping our black tanks. Our fresh water, our low point drain for that freshwater tank. City water connection. Down here's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. Fluid for your furnace. Two things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of it. It does get hot. Your hot water heater, power, access to the back of your fridge, a vent for your microwave. Back corner here, you've got a hot and cold outdoor shower. Cable, that's where you plug in your cable at the campsites. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Most important thing to take care of your unit, take care of the roof. Your low point drains, we'll dump those when leaving the campsite. Spare tire with a cover, keep that cover on there. That's going to keep that from dry rotting on you. Speaking of dry rotting, they've got a spray that you can spray on these rubber seals. That'll keep them nice and flexible and pliable over the years. You don't want them drying and cracking. Keep them nice and flexible. Getting your awning on your slide over here. Couple of outdoor speakers, cable 110, and connection for a outdoor mount for a television. There's a small mount indoors that you can put on a TV and just snap it right on there. Continue down our campsite, get this awning out. Do have this J port here. Grab that and show you how to put that out. There's your J port. Simple pull out here. Got a big square bar, fits in that receiver there. Slide that forward. Underneath here is your quick connect for that. And this will pull back and forth so you can use however much of it you need. Griddle set up here. Here's your hitch work. Again, check your battery post now and then. Your propane does come with a cover. Lefty loosey to open. Point it toward the tank you wish to be using. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Very quickly on your steps here. You do have adjustable feet on those, just be pulling those pins forward. Coming up beside your unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camped with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of emergency. Also coming immediately in, down the bottom will be your breaker box and fuses. A ton of 15s there, a couple 25s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Another spot to turn on your water pump. There's some accent lighting. Up top here, it's going to be our J Command Control Center. Let's touch up top. Again, we went through the motor section. You can also do your slides from here. And our awning. On our awning, you only want to run them out until you can see your brown bar and white flaps down. If you hold that extension button down, those will continue to run themselves out and start to run themselves up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run them out. Only run them out as far as you need to. Shut the awning lights off. And as I continue running that in, Once that's in, we'll go through the rest of these. Alright, next selection will be your main room AC. Let's go ahead, oops, let's get back around to that. Turn the AC. Over here, turn it on. Now we'll crank that up. Shut that off. Shuts off rather quickly. This time I'm going to go to furnace. That kicks on. Now you'll notice if I go to off, it's going to take a few minutes for the furnace fan to cycle through before it shuts off. Again, you can turn on your fan, ACs, high or low, shut everything off. Next, you go to pairing your device. You can do all your slides and everything from the J Command Control BM Pro app on your phone. There's where you can check your fresh, gray, and black tanks. There's one to watch when you're filling your fresh water. Here's where you can turn on your water pump. Here's where you just select here. Select here if you wanted to turn on your water heater hooked to electric, your water heater hooked to gas. It does make a difference. And then back to awnings and stabilizing jacks. Up above this, lighting, awning extension that you can do manually for the slide awning, excuse me. And then up top, once you have water in your tank here, you will turn on your water pump, or excuse me, your hot water heater. Should this press right back in and continue our tour. Not much to talk about over here other than your microwave. Yeah, for 1 second, show you that working. Furrion fridge, all the controls for that are inside here. Open your microwave so don't start yelling at me for not opening it. Your cooktop, this glass top, makes an excellent backsplash. Up above it, you do have a fan and a light. Turn on your panel light or panel light with oven light. We'll rock that up. You see, when I turn this over to gas, it means red means it's lit or has gas going through it. We'll do that with all three of these here. Same exact way. Turn it to red, to the flame. That's your light. And then same thing with your pilot light. Turn that to the flame. Hit your spark down here. That'll light your pilot light. And then just set it to the desired temperature. Again, rock the panel light down and give an oven light. Top here, we've got your RV Technology sound system, Bluetooth, AM, FM. I don't know if we'll pick up much inside this metal building, but we'll give it a quick scan. No. Anyway, we've got speakers, indoors, outdoors, AM, FM. Again, not picking up much for stations in this metal building. Auxiliary, Bluetooth, nice sound system. Television's hidden here. Go ahead and bring that up. Grab my control here. One touch lighting here and here. Grab my control and turn that on. When you arrive at the campsite, you're going to want to go into your settings, into your home, go to your settings, run a digital channel search so that you'll be able to pick up the local channels wherever you're at. Down below, that's our fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. Touch control here. I can show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing now, folks, is the heat. And that timer, get the timer off. The heat, if it is hot in here or chilly in here in the morning or evening, instead of using your gas, crank this up. It's at 82 degrees. It's already kicking out heat. It will get it toasty in here in no time. And again, it looks pretty. Shut my TV off. Bring that back down. You might always have this down for travel. Next to my couch, I have a couple of USB charging ports and 110. I'm going to show you quickly how to turn your sofa into a bed. Turn on my lights above there. Again, one touch. Start by removing your Velcro cushions. They're Velcro down the back here. Stand in the middle gives you good leverage. Crank these legs out. Lift it up and towards you. Make sure your legs stay out. Then lay the back part down. Just that quickly, you've got another sleeping quarters. Just remember, I'm putting this back up. Lift this back up first. Otherwise, you will damage your sofa. And we don't want to do that. Putting it back, again, stand in the middle, gives you good leverage. Bring your legs in, jackknife it back down. Turning our cushions, and just that quickly you are back to your sofa. On your theater seating, you do have removable plate dining tables. Go in your cup holder. These are what I call parachute pull recliners. Pull on your parachute pull. And there's your recliner. Use your legs to push it back in. Same thing on both sides. Your table will wiggle up off these legs. Remove these legs. Set your table on these buttons here all the way around. Put your back cushions on top. Another sleeping quarters. Talk about your island real quick. You have a charging port here, pops up. Two charging port and 110s. Good spot for a coffee pot. Your sink cutter, or sink, you have a cutting board and a drying rack. Plumbing to maintain. Keep an eye on your plumbing. Bouncing the house down the road. Keep an eye on those things. Back over here to our pantry area in the corner down here is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're out dry camping, boondocking somewhere, nothing plugged in charging your battery, use your battery disconnect up front to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone for the day. Coming down the hallway, we'll go into our bathroom. I'll mention 110 with GFCI reset. Also mention more plumbing to keep an eye on. There's your access to your shower plumbing. Same thing in here. Pantry area. A hand crank open. Power exhaust vent. Oops, that's going to go by button down here. Make sure you have that closed for travel. Coming back into our bathroom. This is a thermostat reader. It's just temperature reader, helps the thermostat work better. Bedroom door, you want to have that snapped and bungeed open for travel. In our bedroom, we're prepped for a TV backer here. Cable and 110. You have storage under your bed. You also have charging ports and accent lights for in here, behind here. One touch for blue, hold it in for a reader. You also have a separate AC back here, all hand controlled from here. And that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. We start by securing a lot of things. Placing remotes in drawers. There's the backer for your TV. And also a remote that you can do your stabilizing jacks outdoors with. I like to come to my control panel and shut off all my lights. because then I can see all the individual one-touch lighting that needs to be shut off. So walk through and shut off all my accents. I know that anything else must be from my control panel. One thing I didn't mention about your J command, I'll mention right down here. 1 is light interior lights, 2 is exterior, 3 will do both. Another spot to turn on your water pump, and another spot to go straight to your AC. Shut the rest of these lights off and we'll close the unit up. Alright, so this point I say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. We close these doors, close any hatches that are opened up top, any air vents. Come to my control panel. We're going to go all the way down to motors again. Scroll down to slide 1 and hit retract. That's going to be my kitchen size slide. Again, we made sure everything is closed in drawers. Our television's down. Once that's in, we will select the slide 2, hit retract. That's going to bring our living room slide, campsite slide. Once you hear that noise, that is just the slide mechanism saying I'm in all the way. You don't need to bring me in any further. Alright, so touch number 1. Let's shut off all of our lights and exit the unit. Now on these steps, biggest thing you want to remember is make sure your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise that will catch on it. Bring these up, set them up inside. See how close that is here. Lock that in. Now before you leave the campsite, and I say that in case you're going to go inside and when you get to the dump station check your tanks. Before you leave the campsite, lock and deadbolt your door, lift and turn this handle over your door. You don't want the horror story of the guy with the doors open. Forgot the stabilizing jacks done inside. Could have brought the remote out and brought them back up. Let me bring them up real quick. Alright, if we're boondocking over on the off camp side, come to your low point drain, pull that open and dump that fresh water tank. Hook up your hitch and head on home or to the closest dump station. If you're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up those stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Dump's going to be in front of your tires, probably about 5-6 feet. You got 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Park where you can get to both. Hook that up and pull that left handle. That's going to be your black handle. It's going to be your sewage. Once that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, look at that black tank, see if it shows empty. If it does, come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and come to this tank flush. Hook that hose up, again emphasizing with that black handle open. Let that hose run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout that you just put in there has drained. Once it has, shows empty, close that black handle and pull your first gray. Usually while my gray tanks are draining, these are your cleaner waters, your sinks, your showers. I will come back to the corner here and dump your low point drains. Open them babies up, get all your low points water out of there. When that first gray is done, close that up, pull your second gray. That's going to be cleaner waters again, your sinks, your showers there. Clean your sewage hose out for you. When that last one's done, close it up, remove your hose, come back here, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. And head on home. Again, we want to thank you guys for your purchase and hope that you enjoy this Whitehawk for many years to come. Happy camping.